Sometime I would expect this coming summer, once the ground dries up, they'll dig up the current grave marker and install a new one with his name on it. A young lieutenant, 22-year-old Lieutenant John Francis Maloney. He joined the infantry unit in February 1917, wound up joining the 21st Battalion as a replacement officer, a young lieutenant, and in November the same year was killed. Just one of the tragedies of war. And I really felt that it was important that his grave be properly marked, identified. As a tribute, all our heroes need to be properly honored. And that's what I try to do. It all started so a few years ago. I became webmaster for a website to honor the 21st Battalion from the First World War. The battalion was formed out of Kingston, fought in France and Belgium. My grandfather was a part of that battalion, and I thought it'd be, a tribute to them to post pictures on the website or on the web to honor these heroes. And as part of that, there's a chap who's a member of the Canadian Forces, was posted to Belgium, and he offered to take several weekends and travel the cemeteries, France and Belgium, and take some photos for me for the website. He came across one in the White House Cemetery in Belgium of an officer, unknown officer of the 21st Battalion. This is the way the grave was identified. And he sent it along to me, and he said, I don't know if you really want this for the website or not. It doesn't have a name on it. But he said, we should be able to figure out who it is. So I started going through my own research, previous research, into the history of the battalion. And it took me about 10 minutes to satisfy myself that this was a young lieutenant by the name of John Francis Maloney. So I ordered his service file from Archives Canada, and did some additional research. When the file came back, there was a description of the day he was killed. He was in a working party of 200 men, supervising this working party, and they were moving from one spot to another, and the shell landed directly on the road, artillery shell, and tore him apart, killed him instantly, and killed half a dozen others and wounded several men from the working party. A burial party came along a couple of days later. They couldn't identify him because there was no identification other than his uniform. So they buried him and recorded it as an unknown officer. About a month and a half ago, I got word back from Veterans Affairs that they had approved and came to the same conclusions that I had come to. And they've sent the entire package now to Commonwealth War Graves Commission in Europe for action to have the grave marker changed. At some point this summer, the Canadian military will hold what they call a rededication ceremony when this grave marker is officially recognized. From my understanding, they would like to find a family member, but at this point I don't know of any. I haven't been able to locate any family members. I'm still working on that. I would like to go to Belgium for that ceremony, but unfortunately Veterans Affairs won't pay. I'm retired, I can't afford. I made a trip in 2007 for the 90th anniversary of Vimy Ridge, and I just can't afford to do it again. But in any event, what they tell me is that they will gather some soldiers that are posted in Belgium right now, maybe possibly a representative from the embassy, Canadian embassy. This is actually a wartime shot. To do some kind of service. Guys, which they were in France. He deserves. Trying to shave. All our heroes deserve that. Yes, and to visit those cemeteries. I'm sure we've all seen pictures of them with thousands of crosses and grave markers. And then to visit Vimy Ridge, the Vimy Memorial, the Menin Gate, to see the thousands of names of the men who were either never found or never identified when they were found. tens of thousands of names. There's 55 men from the 21st Battalion listed on the Menning Gate alone, as they have no known grave. The Vimy Memorial, there are several hundred. They don't have a known grave. They may be buried in a grave that has it identified as an unknown soldier, or maybe their body was just never found, and there were a lot of those. And to walk around the Vimy Memorial, just to see those names, is very moving. Very, to me, it's inspiring. It motivates me to do the research to honor these men. Gives me time to do some thinking, actually. I don't always take a moment to think about this old building. I spend a lot of time at it, but the way I look at it, it's the least I can do to honor their memory.